Hey there, everybody. It's RCK, and I'm glad to have you back here again for our next national overview. We're doing another mod nation from a previous modder that we've seen on this channel before, and the modder's name is Sturm. We have seen them with the Vanilla Sprite Overhaul mod, a really cool looking mod that not necessarily adds things to the game. It doesn't change the base game, but it just changes the way the game looks, and that is always really cool to have. So here we're looking at the nation of Abadera. So it says Empire of the Setting Sun. Descendants of the Phoenix Empire, ancient civilization founded by the Telkins and later influenced by the Melkorts of Hinnom. On their trade ventures, they have founded colonies in the distant lands of the setting sun. Avadora was one of many at that time, but as Baratos was destroyed by the armies of Arcosophaly, contact with one of the another was lost. So this is like a kind of a city built up from Baratos, I guess an expansion of them, or a colony or something along those lines. But they are descendants of them themselves. Forgotten from the rest of the world and doomed never be found by this Melkart. Through alliances of trading tribes of half-men dwell in the city. Its own colonies managed to survive and prosper in isolation. Cool. It is a realm of seafaring people relying on allies and mercenaries to fight its wars. So honestly enough, through it looks like just this flag we have here, it reminds me of kind of like Carthage. Very interesting. So that is really cool. I think that is very interesting as well. So let's look at their sites. We have Temple of Waves and Flames. Okay, so here we have fire income, we have 3 water, and we have 2 blood here, 2 blood slaves per turn. Very cool. We have the Great Kothen here. It brings 50 gold per turn. It reminds me of the Nabah site, the Great Dam. And of course we have the summons here, which these are 2 units which we'll look at shortly. Well, actually, I mean, I guess we suppose we could look at these right now. Enables the recruitment of Molech. So this is a summon, so I assume it was going to cost you gems instead. But it is a fire 2, water 2. Very interesting paths here because those paths put you into like the acid type of magic. Sacred, fear 5, slash resistance, blunt, pierce resistance, fire resistance 20, poison resistance. He's an animate. Interesting. Heat 12, need not to eat, never heals, population killer, causes unrest, spreads growth, and a dominion spreader. How interesting here. Full equipment slots, 100 hit points, 25 strength. Ooh, this boy's going to hit hard. Protection of 25. Very cool. It just has base here. It has no armor, even though this is all natural protection, of course. So you can definitely boost his armor way up once you start putting stuff on him. He has an enchanted sword weapon. He has grab and swallow, which is a special type of weapon, of course. Cannot be used on beings size 3 or more, so only on size 2 or less. He has the brass horns dealing 25 damage. Wow. And he has a fiery breath attack here. The Moloch is a huge brass statue that is draped in red stained cloths to signify the status of the patron deity of the city. Very cool. He has been given false life through worship and sacrifices. So this is almost like a Melkort or along those terms as a kind of almost super combatanish at this point. But yeah, this is a very cool unit we have here. And then also we have the Brazen Bull here, and this is just more of a sacred unit. It's not a commander. I'm not sure on how much it actually cost you yet, but it is sacred. It has all the resistances, poison, fire. It's inanimate. It has heat 6. Heat 12 is a whole lot. Heat 6 is more average. As a demon, interesting. It's glutton, never heals, but needs not eat too, but it is a glutton. Interesting. And causes unrest of point 0.4. Or yeah, point 0.4. Has breath hoof, brass horns, and a fire breath attack. So very cool. Very neat here. I like this. So let's go ahead and start looking at the units that we have. Of course, first we have the Citizen Hoplite. So 7 gold, 7 resources, 4 recruitment points, 9 strength, 8 attack skill, 11 defense skill. Okay, very okay. I mean, it's all right. You have formation fighter on this unit, so you're able to fit 4 to a square, even though they're size 2. Very, very low protection, but I mean, due to their low cost, of course, we do see that coming. This is like citizen militia. Even says most citizens fight, dire need, defense, militia phalanx. Yeah, so this is very, very cheap. This is your chaff militia type unit that you're going to have here. But at least they have good morale or average morale, so they're not going to run too fast, but it's okay. Then we have the Avadorian Spearmen here. It looks like they have a tower shield. They might have some javelins, and they have a spear. Very nice. Very evenly costed throughout. Very average unit, except for that defense guy. Defense goes high. Oof. Probably due to that tower shield. Protection's 9 is good. So this is a very average basic unit here. Could possibly be just a good unit to fill your ranks. Because they do have the Link 3 Spear, which you're going to be getting some repel checks on possibly. They have 2 javelins each that they're going to throw, and they have this huge ass tower shield that not only is going to protect them really well against arrows, it also boosts their defense skill really high too, so that's very nice. But this unit is a skirmisher here, so they do not suffer a penalty from fighting a skirmisher or sparse line formation. That's interesting, but other than that, they have no other tags. So very cool looking unit we have here. I really do like this sprite for. I don't know. I would like to see a full line of these guys up front in the front. You know, like just on fire closest. So let's go on to the next unit. We have the Adorian Archer here. 10, 6, 9. Okay, okay. Just a human-sized short bow unit at this point that you're buying here. This I wouldn't necessarily they're too like spammable, but if you needed archers for a reason, you have an archer, so that is always good. Not too much is needed to be said about this unit. Next, we have the Sacred Band Hoplite. Can only be recruited in capital. I assume this is your Sacred Hoplite unit here, and it is their Formation Fighter 4. Fit more units a square. Indicates the extra amount of size points you can fit in a square. I don't know how many of these you can fit. Maybe a lot more. Um, so 20 gold, 29 resources, 23 recruitment points for an 18 protection unit here. Average stats across the board: hit points of 13, size 2, morale 14, very good morale. And then a long spear being a link 4 weapon during 14 pierce damage. It's only recruitment, or this is capital only sacred. But I mean, I still think it's going to be a good unit for you just due to its high protection, the high formation fighter. Uh, as far as the bless goes for it, that's difficult to say. There'd have to be a lot of things you have to test if you necessarily want to put a bless on this unit. But I think you could go with a small one. I wouldn't go like crazy. There's no real reason to go crazy on it. Next, we have a Citizen Lancer here, but it does say it can only be recruited in over water coastal forts. The same for the Citizen Hoplite. Okay, I want to check. So these are just coastal forts that are not in the water. So here we have a 20 gold, 10 resources, 20 recruitment point, medium cav from the looks of it. You do have a lance, so that is good. 10 protection, okay. But I mean, overall, this just looks like a actually almost light cav unit. I mean, but it is very, very cheap, and I feel like that is definitely an upside for you there. Just due to it being a citizen unit here, just like your citizen hoplite. Very kind of low skill as far as hoplites go, but and as far as this lancer goes too, it's very low skill. But a 20 gold lancer unit here with a lance, I mean that's pretty good. And only 10 resources. That's a pretty nice cav unit you have there, because usually you'll see cav units costing a whole lot more than that. So next we have war elephants. So it can only be recruited in coastal forts. Possibly you could do something as far as elephant expansion. Definitely something you want to test out. But something interesting I already see here with this war elephant is that it has 18 protection. That is a lot of protection on a war elephant. Very surprising to see. So, definitely a possibility of doing elephant expansion here with this nation. Attack shield 10, okay, that stuff doesn't matter because all you're going to be doing is trampling. But due to that 18 protection, whew, that is high. That is very high. Very cool. I don't quite remember the average cost of most elephants, but I think they're all around 100 regardless, so I think that will be okay. So that's very, very nice. You have to keep in mind that morale is low, being 9, so you want to keep these guys in probably around 5, groups of 5, maybe. But even that is a lot to spend on each expansion party. But yeah, definitely something you could do there. Next we're looking at units that are recruited in special locations. So the Vasici ambusher can only be recruited in all forests, okay? So what we have here is actually a satyr unit, which is really, really cool. And I guess this has to do with their mercenaries and stuff that they buy and keep up with. Waterman with hindquarters, horn of the goat. This is actually getting pretty cool. So it looks like they have a bunch of like Pangea mercenary units, which is pretty interesting. I even see mages up there, so that's really cool. I'm really interested in looking at that. 9 gold, 7 resources, 14 recruitment points. Very good stats here for what you're paying. 6 protection, kind of low, but okay. Your stats are better for sure. Magical resistance of 13, pretty high. Morale of 9, keep that in mind. But they are stealthy, mountain survival, forest survival, pillager. They have recuperation, which is nice, but they are undisciplined. But they all have javelin units, and they do hit pretty hard at 19 slash damage for a 9 gold, 7 resource unit. So this is pretty good for a really, really cheap unit like this. Um, yeah, I mean this is pretty good unit, honestly, for how cheap it is for you. Next we have the Fasici Skotari. And this is basically just a spearman version of the satyr unit. I wouldn't necessarily say hoplites, they don't have formation fighter, but they do have they do have a tower shield that is going to be giving them a great boost on that defense skill, so they're going to be really hard to hit. So that is very nice. They have a little bit more protection, up to protection 12, which is also very, very good. Hit points of 14, so I mean they're above average as far as human stats go. They have a link 3 spear. They also have a sword weapon, so I guess they're getting 2 attacks per one. Only a chance. Okay. And then they have javelins as well for 15 gold, 16 resources. I mean, this is a very nice unit here. Very cool. I do like that Skritari there. Next, we have the Noble and the Skirmisher here, the Masili and the Masili Noble. Masili Skirmisher and Masili Noble. It says special return required 114. If I remember correctly, let me go back and look because I believe I had something that said where they can be made at. So they're mountain and waste recruitment, where the satyrs are just forest recruitments. Okay, so you can be able to recruit these 2 cavalry units here out of any mountain or waste. So that is really neat. So let's go ahead and look at the skirmisher here. 35 gold, 8 resources, 21 recruitment points. Of course, is a centaur unit. Desert dwelling centaurs. Cool. Less ferocious than their Pangean brethren. They're nonetheless excellent warriors hired. They have Berserker 1, so Berserker is a great tag to have here. They're also stealthy. They have recuperation, which is good. They have lances, hoofs, and javelins. Yeah, good unit. Good look unit. I definitely like the Berserker added on. So let's look at these nobles, which I hope have even a higher Berserker. Nope, they still have Berserker 1. Okay. But a little more on the expensive side here. 40 gold, 25 resources, 29 recruitment points. But 20 hit points, 15 defense skill. Strength is kind of high. Protection's high at 16, actually. I'm trying to see how high the protection is on this. You have to think, is it worth buying 1 noble versus 2 citizen lancers? I don't know. You have to work it out, see for yourself. But they are berserker. They have recuperation. They have a lance hoof and javelin attack. So very cool little noble we have there. So I'm going to take a sip of water here, and we're going to get started on the commanders. So something I didn't even think about mentioning here with the national features is that you're really dependent on your coastal forts and things, and you get 10% income in coastal forts. That is really good. That is really, really cool. You also have high water magic, or high water, blood, and fire, some air, low nature, and earth. So you have very wide coverage. Being that you have blood always means you can have Sabbaths and such going on. Possibly you be a strong blood nation. So that is going to be really cool. I mean, these are middle-aged nations, of course. Um, high water, high water's okay. Low nature and earth. I mean, at least you have some sort of path in there to get that searched. Some air is always good as well. So let's go ahead and jump in on the commanders here. We have the scout, just your average scout. It does have sailing though, so that is pretty good as far as the movement capabilities of this unit. But it is kind of a little bit more cheap or more expensive than the indie scout. So, of course, where you're going to be recruiting this from would be a castle itself, which more than likely would be on a coast. So at that point, you can probably move a decent speed as soon as it starts, or you can go back and forth with this. So, I mean, I guess you're just paying for the sailing at that point. Next, we have the Adorian Art or official here, or officer, not official, officer, which I love his little standard that he's holding here. This is really, really cool. So this is a 50 gold officer here with 40 leadership. He's stealthy and he also has sailing. So I feel like this would be a great raider for you, a very cheap commander raid. Also giving you a sailing commander is really, really good. Next we have the general, who also has sailing. Now he is 100 gold and 80 leadership, so he will be giving a few bonuses here to morale, giving them all +1 morale, which is going to be very, very nice. So normally if you had to move troops, and if you weren't planning on sneaking or doing things like that, I would be using this general instead to at least get a bonus on their morale. Next, we do have a few more units here. We have a Navigator, which looks like can be recruited anywhere. Now, this is a 110 gold sailing mage. It is not sacred. Has 40 leadership, and automatically he's a water 2 with a 10% chance to random an air path. I mean, there's a few things. There's a couple of nice like buff spells you can do with water. You can always do like give them a booster or something, or just give them an extra gem. You have water elementals or such. I mean, these would be great casters. There'd be great water casters underwater. So you make possibly a few rings of water breathing. And you go underwater with these guys. You can fight pretty efficiently with water elementals underwater. So that's something to keep in mind. Not sure if this is necessarily your research monkey because it is kind of higher on the upkeep side. But yeah, we'll continue to look through. Next, we have a Sophet here, and this is 140 gold sacred unit. It's also Holy 1. 56 gold. This might be more of a research monkey for you because having massable blood ones and also priests, which is fine too. But they also reduce each one of them reduce unrest by 2. They have sailing. They're sacred. They're less upkeep than the water 2s. They have a chance to either be blood 2, which would be good for searching, or blood hunting, anything you have going on. A blood water path, doesn't matter. Blood air path would be nice to have air in your Sabbaths. Fire, it's okay. But yeah, I would definitely be buying these as your researcher so far. As far as the mages we've seen, I'd be buying these. If each one of these reduces unrest by 2, my goodness. That is very, very nice. You're not going to have to worry about any unrest in your castles, I will tell you that. So that is a very interesting unit to see. And also you have to take into consideration that whenever this unit here is blood hunting, every single one of these guys will be reducing unrest by 2. So, I mean, if you have 10 guys, that's 20 unrest gone per turn. On top of whatever else you're patrolling with. So normally enough, you're not taking that extra damage to the province because of the patrols, but these guys will be reducing the unrest just automatically while they're also blood hunting. So that is very, very nice. That's very probably very, very, very efficient, of course. So yeah, I really do like this mage here for this nation. Next you have the Tide Caller, can only be recruited in overwater coastal forts. 160 gold, takes 2 turns. Air 1, Water 2, with a chance to be Air 2, Water 3, or Astral 1. I don't believe it said. Yeah, Sturm, you need to update that the magic there. I didn't know we got Astral. So because we do get Astral paths here, so keep that in mind. Um, of course they have sailing. Water 3s would be very nice, honestly. That would be a decent path. I mean, if this is your only way to get Astral, getting the Astral in would be nice, of course, just to do some site searching and whatnot. But other than that, it's not necessarily needed. Of course, you can always join into the Communion or Sabbath if you are Astral, if that is what we need. But of course, we have other things that can do with this path anyway. But having an Air 2 would be pretty good. We have some Cloud Trap users, maybe something along those lines. Definitely having a Air 2 site searcher is much better. Having an Air 1 site searcher, we could probably throw them in Communions. You can also do things like give an extra gem to lightning. What are they called? Not lightning elementals. My goodness, do I have to go and look? Air elementals. I don't know why the word escaped me at the moment. So that is very interesting there, being the Tide Caller. Oh my goodness, how am I going to say this word? Miquim Elim? Miquim Elim? Miquim Elim. Okay. So 310 gold. Takes 2 turns to recruit, because they are 4 recruitment points. What you're getting from this is a cool mage with a bullhead. He's a Fire 1, Water 1, Blood 2, Holy 2, with a chance to random 2 more paths. He is old age though, so keep that in mind, and he is sacred. So he is able to has a 100% chance to get either Fire, Air, Water, Blood, and then another 100% chance to get Fire, Air, Water, or Blood. So you could possibly have a Fire 3, you could have a Water 3. Goodness, you can even have a Blood 4. That would be nice. Um, Also, having a mage like this is actually going to open up you to kind of higher water and fire paths. Because if you get a blood random or any other random on it, so if you get a fire random and blood random, or a water random and a blood random, we can go and look and see things like, let's look in blood magic. Of course, we're going to be going in blood magic, so awaken the bull, that's 15 per. Regardless, that's not what I really want to look at. So, essentially, either one blood booster or a blood empowerment onto a blood fire random, you're going to have bind archdevil, which is going to be fire 3s. From fire 3s, of course, you're able to go up farther. Other than that, when you have either a double water random or a blood water random and a blood booster, you can do bind ice devils, and that will give you higher water. Or there's chances of getting even better ones. That there's like a water death one, which which you don't have death with. That would be great to have. I think there's a water astro, and there's just a couple of water ones. And the Molech here, the super combatant that we saw is in Blood 7. He costs 150 slaves. Not too bad, honestly. And the Brazen Bull is 15. I mean, definitely we could be doing that because it's a level 1. Depending on how high your blood income is, you would be doing that or not. So keep that in mind. So let's go back to the nation here. So yeah, definitely have a lot of possibilities here with the random paths that you can get with this god or this mage, of course. So that's really cool. He is in what is this? What is this? This is adept in calling back your god. The value of the ability is added to priest level performing call god. Okay, so it's basically a holy 4 when you're calling your god back though, so that's pretty cool. If you're very dependent on your bless or very dependent on your god, and you need them back as soon as possible, this would be a great guy to do it with. So this is pretty cool. He can only be recruited in your capital, so he is your cap only mage. And then we have one more. We have a Priestess of Nito here. Can be recruited in all forests. So let's take a look at this unit. Of course, this is the goodness, what are they called? I don't remember what they're called for Pangea. Dryads? Naiads? No, they're Dryads, I think. So 130 gold, 19 resources, 2 recruitment points. Um, you'll get a Nature 1 Holy 1 with a random to either get water or earth. Of course, the water and earth path for this will be good for you just due to you being able to search for water and earth. But I feel like the water or nature and earth would be good for you to be able to search for those. But another thing with nature and earth, these could be possibly strong thugs that are able to bless themselves with whatever bless you have, because they also have awe. They have awe too. They have recuperation. They can do iron skin, temper flesh, maybe some kind of enlarge, regeneration, something. Bark skin, protection. There's a couple of things they can do. Okay, so this could definitely be a small thug that can definitely take out 6 PD. And other than that, for all of your water randoms, they're going to be great Moss body casters. Okay, and definitely being that your units are formation fighters and things and such like that, you're going to be able to easily put those buffs on a whole lot of units at one time. For how many units you have. So this is a very interesting unit. I do like that. I do like that you have even a mage here. You have this kind of like small grouping of Pangean units that you have here added on to this nation. I think that is really, really cool. And it's not like, okay, well, you got one Pangea unit here, but you kind of got a decent amount. 5 is a lot of units here that you can use at your disposal for different things, because just having this singular mage here adds a whole lot to the rest of this, because you're covering so many more paths now. So that is really, really cool. So that is all I have for this nation here, guys. Let me check my time. Okay, 27 minutes. Honestly, that was a pretty fast one. We can do a little bit of expansion here real fast, just to see. Okay, I didn't put any scales on, of course, so we are not going to be great expanders, but we might just want to do all citizen lancers here. Yeah, I might just do citizen lancers. Prophetize. What units do we get in our starting army? So we got 15 archers, and we got 15 of these Avadorian Spearmen here. Very cool. Which I think they're pretty good units. So at least the Spearmen, the archers are average. Do we want to go for that? And we're able to make 8 here. So these guys are able to have 3. You're just going to be on cast spells. You're going to be on fire. You're going to be on fire. You're going to be... Oops. You're going to be on attack rear. And you're going to be pulled over some. Don't know. I think if we hit this, we're able to move and hit that next turn. I think. Put that on for a minute, okay. So that is that here. Even with no scales, we're making 473 gold, so I know that this nation with scales will be making a whole lot more. So we see that expansion into heavy cav has gone fairly well with our original expansion party, and our lancers do a really great job at this, guys. Let's go ahead and watch that. Yeah, I feel like these lancers are very good. Just being real cheap, kind of light cav or medium cav unit, and these spearmen took the lance charges, and they're doing a great job. It looks like the heavy cav are having trouble hitting them, but they have been broken at this point. But hopefully our units will take care of them first, and we have, so they have stayed in our group. But yeah, they held up a lot more. They only had 1 unit die. No, they had 8 units die. Okay, yeah. They had 8 die, but they have to think they did take 8 lance charges. So, it is what it is. But yeah, that was a nice little battle there. I'm surprised they stood around as much as they did. We got 2 water randoms there. Let's make a group of those. I'd just rather have the spearmen, I guess. And honestly, at this point, we could probably 21. Goodness. Let's just have one of those. And then we have no. Okay. And I think that will be fine. Which we can ping this turn. Just to make sure there's no surprises. Hold on. Okay, we can end turn. Militia, light infantry, and archers. Cool. All we lost were the lancers here. We lost 8 lancers, but they did deal majority of the kills. Oh, crossbows. Oh, so it looks like these guys have pretty high map movement here as well. Well, it's just 12, but I guess due to us being on a road, that is what we have going on. Possibly. Oh my goodness, we make so many more lancers now. 25, 21. I know I'm kind of wasting a commander point here, but oh well. I think this separate lancer group will be able to take this province here and possibly double expand next turn, depending. So that is very nice for us. Ooh, this is a mountain here. So let's actually see. Hold on. So 25 resources, 29 recruitment points, and then 35 and 21. So we're able to make either 2 skirmishers or 1 noble per turn. 3 every 2 turns. 16 protection, that's so nice. Just putting that recruitment build there. So I want you to go there like that, yeah. Just wanted some more frontline troops, honestly, just to kind of help us out. But honestly, I feel like I almost should have gone with more citizen cav, being a non, just due to their cost compared to each one. If I would have gone scales, maybe that'd be a little different. So I will end the turn. Let's see how this battle went. We took some losses, but we did take the province. We lost the rest of our lancers in that group, which is unfortunate. But with 9 left, heavy cav. Oof, never mind. We might be able to take that province there. Honestly, you're just going to be on attack closest. Okay, so we did expand really well, even though there is a water mage in that province there. And we expanded really well on that one too. Good. Very good, very good. So now we're able to use a lot more of these. Yeah, just attack rear. Okay. Well, we might be able to do that. We might be able to do that one too. Let's go for a triple expand. Why not? Might as well. No risk, no reward, I suppose. We did get a fire random though. We're trying to push our limits here. In this first party, it's still going. Sweet. We did take the province. Good. I know they can't go any farther, but we did take it. So this Lancer group did take the province, and this Lancer group were beaten. How unfortunate here. There's just a shaman left. Honestly, there was a lot more bear tribe than we originally thought there was. So we'll be able to take that with our second group. I just want you... Okay. Maybe something along those lines. If you get pick up all the troops there we have back there, I want you to go back. Oh no, I don't want you to go through that province. What in the world? So we were very close to a triple expand there. I mean, this is not the best expansion. I'm sure we could have done much better if we actually had a game plan coming into this. But from the looks of it, it's working out for us. We have a lot of stuff at home here. Honestly, attack. I just want you to attack. You hold back there a few turns because they will be firing arrows at us here. You'll be able to pick up some of these nobles here, so that'd be very good. How many are there? There's 6 in total. That's actually a fair few. I mean, that might change the battle there. Change any battle we have. Honestly enough. Still working on double expansion. Oof, we were beaten. Oof. So these Lancers, they're not so great against Horse Tribe. Interesting. And we're beaten here because our officer died. Oh, how unfortunate. But I was very curious on whether he was going to live or not, because we kind of had just the Lancer group on attack rear, so they would have ran past everything else. All the other Indies would have ran towards the only commander there, which is kind of unfortunate for him, but oh well. What do I do? Put you on guard, I guess. Honestly. See, a lab and a temple to create those. Oh, but we do have forest now, so we're able to start making these units here. Make 3 a turn. Cool. Recruitment capped on that. Unfortunate. My goodness, yeah, we wrecked them on that one though. Let's do something along these lines. How much do we want to pick up though? There's 2 there, 2 there. We'll have 6 units there. I mean, honestly, you could pull these 15 and go there. Well, tough one. Because we are at 2 more turns, we might as well just be expanding as much as we can. Yeah. win and a beat again. So we got to really be careful with just using the cav here. We're able to make 15 a turn though without anything, any scales, of course. So that is very interesting. You also take that off. It's turn 11. This is our last turn here as far as expansion goes, and we'll just count up what we have. We took it, and we took it. Sweet. So, I mean, we came in with no game plan. We decided we're going to do 12 turns of expansion. I mean, this is not the best. I mean, we also didn't have any scales. We took no scales. We actually have Dominion. We have Dominion 2. We took no scales at all. So, we did end up taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Not great for 14. 14's not great by any means, but we came in with nothing in mind here. I'm sure if we decided to do Lancer expansion and we went scales or something else along those lines, or had any additional scales at all, honestly, we would be doing a lot better. But yeah, that's fine. I mean, honestly, I think we did fine. There was a lot of things that we probably shouldn't have went after with the small amount of Lancers that we had at the time. So that was probably bad on my part, but I mean, honestly, we just tested and see how they did. So that was a lot of fun. Um, Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.